Hello everybody, my name is Jeffrey Allen Ford. In 2016, I won the World Genius Directory's Genius of the Year Award for America. In 2018, I won the Vedic Guild's Genius of the Year Award. I've also given a TED Talk. I'm an author who's been read by millions of people. And I've also been on quite a few different radio talk shows and podcasts. So there, now you know everything there is to know about me. Or do you? No, of course not. Because you don't know any more about me than what I would know about you if you had just told me your name and a brief list of your accomplishments. We really have to know who we are at a very deep level in order to live authentic lives. Think about it for a moment. How could you possibly ever reach self-actualization if you don't even actually know who you even are? You can't do it. It's impossible. And how could you possibly ever share your life fully with others if you don't even fully know who you are? Again, you can't. It's impossible. You can't do it. So, life is transition. It's about change. We are always changing and we're always developing. So this is something that we need to keep doing throughout our lives, reintroducing ourselves to ourselves. And it's an important thing to do. To begin, I would like to start off pretty basic and talk about our likes and our dislikes and why they are so important to who we are as human beings and important for how happy we can be throughout our life. So, like I said, it's important to know what your likes and your dislikes are because, for example, I made a list one time. I sat down for about 2 hours and I made a list of over 350 different things that made me happy. And that was just in 2 hours. And I was absolutely shocked at how much there is in this world that brings me joy. And I included things like the movies I liked, the actors and actresses. I love music. The musicians I like, the foods that make me happy, the places I like to go, the activities that make me the happiest, the people that I know that make me the happiest. And it's just so amazing. And I encourage you to make that list too, because sometimes you might not like what's happening around you, or maybe you're just feeling restless and you just can't really put your finger on it. But you just need a change, you know? And you can just look at that list that you made and you can go, okay, I can do that now, I can do that, let's do that. And boom, happiness right there. It's so easy. And while you're doing that list about the things that make you happy, there's a reason for that. It's because we live our life in parts. And let's say, for example, and you want to live a congruent life, okay? Congruency means that we all have these different parts to ourselves. And they have to be in harmony. Otherwise, you're going to have a lot of stress and you're going to have a lot of anxiety. And you don't need any more of that in your life. And let me give you an example. Let's say you really love being a competitor. You love competition. Another part of you doesn't like physical pain, okay? So you like competition, but you don't like physical pain. Well, in that case, the type of competition you might be well suited for might be video gaming, playing cards, non-contact sports, competing in business. There's a lot of different ways, right? But if you were to decide, you know what, I really got excited watching that boxing match last night, I want to be the heavyweight champion of the world. You could get yourself killed. You can't do that. If you don't like pain, you better not step into the ring, and you definitely better not step into the octagon. Okay? So these are things that you need to think of when you're thinking about the things that you like. Now, many people also believe that who they are is that voice that's inside of their head that talks to them. And, it's how the thoughts you use to remember things and to dream things up, to be inventive. It's a very important voice to have. You have to train that voice, however, to work on your behalf, because you don't want to, for example, you don't want to engage in negative self-talk, because that will just tear you down. Because if you go around thinking, why am I so overweight, or why can't I stop smoking cigarettes? Your brain will give you negative answers to those negative questions. But if you ask yourself, after seeing a doctor first, mind you, if you're to ask yourself, what could I do today to start myself on a healthier path? And what could I continue doing once I do get my ideal weight and stop smoking to help make sure that I continue along that line? Your brain will give you those answers too. So you want to definitely do that. One of the other things is that at a very deep level, we have to look at our likes and our dislikes, and we have to take that and go, okay, I like, let's say, someone might love being a pet owner, for example. And so what do they love about being a pet owner? You have to ask yourself that. Don't just know what you like. Know what you like about what you like. Because that is the key. Because then you can take what you like about the things that you like and apply it to other things. So let's say you really love dogs and you really love cats. What you can do with that, and the reason why you really love dogs and cats, is because they will love you unconditionally, and they will allow you to love them unconditionally back as well. And also, a lot of people love being a pet owner because it makes them feel needed. It makes them feel important. And so you have the thing that you like. You like being a pet owner, and now you know why. Because of the unconditional love, and because you want that feeling of being needed and important. Well, what else could you do to get that type of love in your life and that feeling of being important? Well, some people, for example, they love dogs and they love cats, but they can't have any because of the housing that they're in. Or maybe they're elderly and they just can't handle the day-to-day taking a dog out, let's say. And what can you do in that case? Well, one thing that you can do is you could get a volunteer position at a shelter, an animal shelter. And they have people who come in just to pet the animals, because it's so important that these animals are loved and nurtured. And when people do that, they're able to have physical contact with so many different animals during the course of while they're there. And they really impact that life. And so they receive and give that love, and they know that they're so needed. I'm surprised more people aren't doing this. Let me give you maybe another example as well. I love music. I absolutely love music. And I love music. Okay, that's the thing that I love. What do I love about it? Because it can get me pumped up. It can get me psyched. It can make me happy. I live a lot inside of my head, all right? I'm the genius of the year for a reason. But man, sometimes you just want to turn it off. You know what I mean? Music is the perfect avenue that many of us use for that. And a couple weeks ago, I was listening to The Who, and a song was on called Who Are You? And that, by the way, is also the name of this video, Who Are You? It's not by coincidence. Anyway, I was thinking about who are you? And my brain was giving me all kinds of answers. And then I developed these formulas and this method of really discovering who you are at a very deep level. And so I said to myself, well, I'm pumped up and I'm feeling motivated. Two things that music does that I love. I want to do something with this. So I decided to make this YouTube video, and I'm going to be on the Crystal Frost show tomorrow speaking on this very subject. So I'm taking massive action with this because it is that important. So that's something that we can all do to help us really get to know ourselves and to apply ourselves in ways that help people, that are outside of our circle that we might not otherwise know or otherwise touch. There's another way, an even deeper way to really get to know who you are, and that is to simply become very childlike. As a matter of fact, we really need to go back to a place of simplicity and being very vulnerable. Look at a newborn baby, or not a newborn, but just a very young baby. Look at their eyes, how alive they are. Oh my gosh, they're looking, and they take their time with it too, if you notice. They're looking and they're just absorbing it all. They are so aware, keenly aware. And the beautiful thing about a baby's awareness is that they don't have language yet to judge the things that they're looking at. They're just looking and absorbing it. And they also don't, because they don't have language skills, they don't have all those voices from other people telling them what we should feel about that person or what we should feel about that thing or that belief or whatever. They're an empty slate. They're just pure awareness. And that's who we are at heart. That's who all of us are at heart, because that's the one thing in our life that never, ever changes. We are pure awareness. So, how can we get in touch with that aspect of ourselves again as adults? It's easy, and at the same time, you don't know it's easy, so it takes a little bit of time to get there. What you want to do is you want to sit and be still. And you don't want to have any verbalization in your head. You don't want to judge anything during that. Just sit there in peace. Listen, watch. But don't even, because here's the really cool thing about this. The whole exercise is to become more aware. The beautiful thing when you get really advanced, and it doesn't take long. I mean, it took like maybe 3 weeks, 4 weeks for me to get there. And when you get to that point, you're not even aware of being aware. That's how aware you actually are. So that's a really great way to go through life. So who is this thing called you? Well, you're a combination of many things, aren't you? You're all the experiences you've ever had. You're your combination of likes and your dislikes. And you're also, at your sacred core, pure awareness. Just sit, be still. Some people, they like to call that meditation. Other people, they prefer to look at it as just getting in touch with themselves. I don't care if you call it oatmeal. Just do it. It'll make a huge difference in your life. I really believe that the reason I was able to win 2 different Genius of the Year awards, I believe it's because I am able to sit perfectly still, be perfectly silent, absorb what's around me, get involved with whatever the frequencies are that might be in my midst. Take that, assimilate it, and then later, if I want, if I choose to, then I can think about, okay, this is what happened while I was meditating. Another thing about this, when you're doing this, and if words come to you or thoughts come to you, don't judge those thoughts, and don't judge yourself for having those thoughts. A lot of people give up early on in this process because they feel overwhelmed. It's like, I can't turn off my head. Hey, guess what? It still happens to me at times, But for the most part, I can get there, and sometimes I can do it within seconds, and you can get there too. So again, who are you? You are pure awareness. You are the things that you like and the things that you dislike, and you're a combination of everything that's ever happened to you before in your life. So what I want to leave you with is a thought that I've given to you before. Don't worry about being perfect. Just be perfectly you. Thank you.